People generally get in touch with me when there is a problem or there is an issue that needs to be resolved. Yeah. It's like running a restaurant where only people who are hungry will come. If someone is full and had enough to eat, they'll never come. So, or like a doctor. Someone is sick, they'll come to the doctor. So I'm not saying that I'm a holy man or a doctor, but people with specific related problems who want a different opinion come to me. And I'll give you 3 examples in this. One of the common problems that I see is when people react to a situation in the wrong way, either because of their temper or boiling rage or bottled up rage, as they call it, or the biggest one, ego. When they react to this or they take a decision emotionally, almost always in the long term, it's a massive regret. And that is why I'll share 3 examples. Because this happened yesterday, I spoke to a guy. He has given me permission to share. This might be a very silly incident. Okay. The guy was, a roundabout, right? Okay. So his car was there. And it was kind of traffic jam. And so, cars want to move front. So he's driving a slightly expensive car. So 4-wheel drive, which is slightly higher. So then he saw a gap to go front because they were waiting for quite some time. So he moved it front. So this guy was seated in the car. He like honked and all that. So this guy like just ignored it. So obviously this guy got irritated. So he came front, and you know how it is. You move the car a little front, little front, little front, little front. So finally, when this guy managed to just suddenly press the accelerator and move front, and now he couldn't come front because this side there's a car, and see, his car is here, roundabout, his car is here, other car is here, he has moved front. So now this guy can't turn this way, and he's jammed his car's bumper right in the front. So what this guy did is, he reversed a little bit, and there he slammed into that guy's bumper. Okay. And this guy was pissed off and all that, and that guy is also pissed off, and obviously, you have hit, right? And then obviously, as traffic started to move, they were shouting and arguing and all that. And after this guy bumped, other cars got afraid, so he moved, and they kept hitting each other. I mean, it became like a bumper car, this thing. And even after going front, he didn't stop. He chased this guy. And this guy had, by the time, you have to report it to the police, came at the side. He also moved his car at the side. And they were in a screaming contest. And obviously, so you can see blood is boiling and anger and ego. And they went on. Those two, he and his friend, those 2 guys were sitting in the car, were Arabs. Arabs means Arab nationality, not the local citizens. This guy was Indian. So screaming contest, this, that. Finally, police came. They said, whose fault? So they pointed fingers at each other. And then he said, okay, come to the police station since you can't resolve this. And then when they're there, he said, see, listen, if you want to not agree to this, then you'll have a court case. And lo and behold, my friend, client, whatever, agreed for a court case. Now, the problem is, it seems to be dragging. And now this guy, this Arab guy, because, he's Arab, he has a couple of contacts. Now he's dragging on and is creating hassles and stress for no reason at all. And when he tried to, reason out and finally told this guy, let's mediate, and he's asking for a much greater sum. And it's like, man, this is so ridiculous, because now he has filed that he tried to kill me, and I just told him that, see, it's very easy for me to give advice, but, first is if you're not, if you know driving, the rule is the people who are in the circle, their priority is first, not the guy who's coming from outside. So he has to give you way. So all you had to do is smile and, acknowledge it. He would have let you go. That's the first mistake, which is easy for me to say. But the second problem that you did is, after the hitting, you both got into a shouting match and you hit him, he hit you. You told him, see, I'm not saying that you're at fault. He's equally at fault. But then after that, you chased him and tried to scare him. And when the police said, why don't you solve this here? And you refused. And again, you're shouting, screaming. And then went to the police station, again shouting, screaming. So his ego got hurt. Your ego got hurt. And now it's a battle of egos. I finally gave him a couple of solutions. He said he would try to reason it out because it's sincerely causing him a lot of unwanted pressure, stress, court hearings, this, that. So that is one. So if I could give you the moral of the story for the first one, it would be, especially if you're driving, don't drive if you have a bad day or you're bottled up anger. Just take a cab and sit quietly and relax, listen to some. And yeah, please don't act with the ego, especially when there's a problem. You will meet dickheads. Second one is ego of starting a business or proving that you are better than the employer. This two examples I'll give you at the side. Sometimes if you're a high performer and your boss is not paying you your salary, or he's not respecting you, or there's office politics, there's a general tendency to one day tell your boss to go take a flying fuck or whatever. The problem of doing that is, after you resign, you have to give the employer as a reference, because the new company will verify, especially if you are working multinational. Or so if you explode and you exit in bad terms, the person who's there will always make sure that your life is made miserable even after that. And there are some people who are just meant for that. Yeah. They'll contact the HR, they will do whatever it takes. So this particular guy, he is a good guy. Well, that's what I like to believe, because he has track record of excellent and awards and all that. But he had a massive fight with the employer and gave bad words and this and that. We couldn't take it anymore and threw in the resignation on his face, and they tried to delay it, but finally they had to agree. But now when this guy applied and got a better job, that old employer and the HR, it seems they are buddies, they wrote a stinker of a email, stinker of a feedback, stating that this guy is unethical and this and that. And he told me, should I take them to court? And his company HR didn't show him the letter, but they said, we have received a very bad report, and they withdrew the offer. So he was like asking me, should I take them to court? Just forget it, yeah. So I asked him, so he asked, so what should I do? I said, just keep applying and send them a letter of apology. I told him, just say, go meet that guy face to face, apologize, just bury it. Say, even if it is his fault, because unless you're going to start your own thing, you will need his reference, and it's a small place, He didn't like my feedback, and he's saying, no man, I'm just too hurt to do all that. I said, just hope that this guy doesn't spoil your chances everywhere. And then the second example in the same category is, this guy, was more like the right-hand guy of the employer. Things didn't work out, and finally, owner insulted him because they had a heated this thing. He gave back to the owner, and the closer you are, the more you can hurt the person. And lo and behold, he decided to start his own business. Now the problem is the line of work that they're in. He started something in similar terms. So the owner slapped him with a non-competitive clause. And even though it was not 100%, still. And then, the vendors and suppliers whom all he was getting in touch. Now they made it a price war. And imagine if you're starting a business and you're already, the people that don't want to do business with you, because money is the loyalty factor. They don't care if you're a nice guy. So he's really finding it hard, and it has been a year. And especially when you start a new business, there is a lot of expenses, and the initial phase is very tough. The solution there was, you should have kept quiet and, sorry sir, this thing, and just resign politely, show them there, like the art of war. You show that you're in a losing state of mind. Oh, I'm at loss, I'm nothing, I'm nobody. Take care, sir, give me your blessings, and in a nice way, don't have to tell the truth what you're going to do. But then ego, no? And he's still, that owner is determined to make sure that this guy doesn't succeed. And last and not the least, the third example that I'll give you is, it's actually a marriage, but this time it's the guy who made the mistake. Whenever this guy had a short temper, wife was very loving, and they've had children and all that. So he was earning slightly less, and he had a massive temper, shouting, screaming, throwing things and abusing and this and that. Finally, one day, it seems that the wife, who is earning more, she came late from a party, after office party or something, networking. She is very aggressive in that, it seems. So he drinks alcohol. So he was in a pissed off state of mind because she came late. And they started, oh, you're fucking him, and you're doing that, and you're a slut, you're a bitch, you're this. And lo and behold, he always had this threat. I fucking want to divorce you, you bitch. And he used to always repeat that phrase, divorce, divorce, divorce. So once again, he said, I challenge you, divorce me, you bitch, you this. And lo and behold, he did a major mistake. He, husband and a wife, when they argue, sometimes goes too personal. No? So they were hitting below the belt. And, being the man, especially alcohol, testosterone, he socked the wife. It hit her on a ear, and it seemed she had a cracked jaw, and she fell down, an injury, and apparently the children also saw all that. And he realized, oh shit, what did I do? And by the time, swollen, and she took her to hospital, and her family got involved, and because it was a serious thing, so she has applied for a divorce, and became a police case. Initially they didn't, but with pressure from the family, and now they are actually divorced. Means they are proceedings. But what is the problem is, this guy who's not earning much, he's at the losing end. Nobody wants to deal with him. No family member wants to associate with him. Being the man, he has to pay for the, costs of taking care of the children. Even though he's earning less, he has to pay. And his life is an utter mess, and he's very lonely now. And he called me, he told me, Loy, I can't take life. Now what do you do? I told him, see, the problem was, you always thought you are invincible, nothing can touch you. You are this thing. Oh, by the way, he even lost his job because it became a police case, and his employer, doesn't respect men who hit women. And the girl's family reported. So he ended up losing his job also. So I forgot that. Yeah, now I think he has another job, not too sure. But obviously not as much as before, and overall his life is miserable. He's depressed and he's lonely, and money problems and court issue and divorce and that police case thing. See, overall these three might sound remote, but these are actual problems that happen. You know, losing your temper when driving, or wanting to prove to your boss or your employer, I'm better than you. This one, like relationships. You might think that I don't give a fuck about it, I don't need you. I've done that. Always thought, I don't need, I can get many bitches like you. Sometimes you may not know your own weakness, your own drawbacks. And by the time you know it, way too fucking late, man. Way too late. So, anyway, I thought I would share this with you. Let me know, what are your thoughts? These three examples. See, it's very easy to get advice and say, man, you should keep your cool, man, you should, it's your fault. But then one day when we are put in that situation, it's a big question. How would we react? So, anyway, I just thought I'd share this, and I'm sharing it as a word of caution. I just hope you guys don't do anything where your ego or your temper or bottled up emotions are concerned. Remember, one simple thumb rule I follow: when in doubt, leave it out. Okay? If you want to send a rude email or letter, or you want to say something, just write it down somewhere, wait for a couple of days, and then look at it. And if you're still not sure, consult someone who is a mature person. Because once, like this, you know, the arrow has, you've released the arrow or the bullet, you can't take it back. Anyway, what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Guys, take care.